I want to ask another question around the market, but before that, I want to ask a stock question. Troy,
Yeah.
we were talking to Jamal the other day. Shout out
My
to him,
guy, what's up, Smalls?
and he had some success with his stock. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, man. So it's actually something we had on a group chat call. Company called UP. Well, the symbol I'll give you simple UPST. Uh, and so it's Upstart Holdings. And so he had spoken about it. Yeah, exactly. If you're looking at the chart, if you haven't, I'm gonna say it again.
Oh, baby.
And so this was I feel like we did this call in February. So if you even look at it in February, if you look at the chart,
Last February.
2021. And so at the time, it had pulled back a little bit. It had ran up in December and January, and then right mid-February, it pulled back down to $51. I was like, Jamal, why are you telling me this, man? Like, this is a pull. He's like, nah, man, I really believe in this. I really believe in this. And I was like, all right, okay. And lo and behold, man.
Smalls, my number the same. It was at 22 last year, but Small low key on the swing trading, he a beast. Yeah.
And so you could imagine, to our surprise, when he told us about the gains that he saw here. So it ran up from 600, and he had some leaps in it, some option calls, short term and a few long term ones, and it ran up to 309. Obviously, there was a large pullback today, but man, them group chat calls
of a trade.
Life.
I wanted to highlight that because it's about it's like fishing. Sometimes you just have to be patient, and talked about that in February, and now reap the rewards of it. But a lot of times people, like, I was on my financial planning call the other day, and somebody was saying, like, I'm investing, but I haven't really seen any returns. And I'm like, when you start investing? It's like August. I'm like, well, it's only 1 month. So yeah, that right there was a success story.
Yeah, I think we did the numbers. If he had invested like 100,000, it would have been like 10 million at this point.
Smalls, you got my number.
I mean, listen, like 51 to 309. I'm like, how do you just like not say like, hey, remind us of the call we had? But that's
what was in our group chat.
No, it was in the EYL University.
The one that we're gonna have on Wednesday.
Yeah,
the one that we do every month for EYL University.
I'm not in that thread. Smalls, call me. How your people call my people directly? My God.
Yeah. That was one of those. Like I said, like sometimes when, and this is funny. I want to shout out to my young boy Shems. He's just getting into the market, and so I had showed him what the profits you can make in investing. And he was like, man, that's incredible. But also, I took a picture of the gains today because they were negative. I told him, like, there's two sides to this coin.
Yeah.
But when you trust your research and you trust what you've done and you trust your investments, you don't flinch. You don't even feel it because you know how this works. We said this 2 weeks ago. I remember the date, September 2nd, 2020, when we had a huge pullback, almost like 9%. I'm like, okay, this is a new feeling. This is a new feeling. Can you sustain this? Can you walk away from this and not feel any different about investing? And the overall answer was, yes, I can. So once September comes around again, and we spoke about witching. In fact, we told people we're not even going to buy contracts until after witching. This wasn't a surprise. It was just what would be the catalyst, right? So it was like, what was going to be the catalyst? So I ran some numbers, Ian, real quick. So if you look at the history of the Dow for the past 30 years, right, this wouldn't even be a surprise to us because if you look at the past 30 years, the Dow Jones, the week after quadruple witching or triple witching, this is the third quarter, out of the past 30 years, it's been down 23 out of 30 years. There's only been 7 up years in the past 30. In the past 20s, there's been 15 down years, and it's only been up 5 times. And so we said September, and when we gave the months that we should be trading, we said that April until October is rough, right? But
you still got to keep money in. But yeah, September
is rough. And that's part of it too. It's like, all right, well, this is a good if we're positioning ourselves and we've had money in a money marketing account, like Shadi always says, why keep it in a savings account, put it in a money marketing account. Then we're looking at entry points now, because some of those entry points that we've been saying, and we thought that they would never come back to that level.
Listen, would y'all stop with that? Like, I'm telling you where to get in, where I want to get in, where some of the people y'all look up to are calling me for entries. Just get them free for the culture. I'm begging. Like we tried to do, like Troy Killer research, man, the entries. If me, Trap, Troy, Bonawyn, Josh Brown, say it, it's going to happen. We're coming there now. Like even with the Dow, September has been bad since the 1950s, historically. Just research. Even if you don't do the research, we've done all the research for you.
Just
cooked it, filleted it, laid it out for you. Man, enjoy. Enjoy. Yeah. September is a great month if you're looking to get into the market. And with UPST, it's crazy to even say it. Like 239.28 is like a good entry for it. Smalls, text me, bro.
So in that video, so when you saw Shotty post the video, right? When he like went in the lab, what time was that? Like 12 o'clock? No, we really in the lab. Like I'm saying to myself, all right, where did these contracts open at? How far have they pulled back? Is it now time to enter? Straight up. Like he just video recorded because we were on calls all the day, but that's the work. Like that's what we're doing.
That goes into it.
That goes into it. And so it's like, all right, well, nah, SMH didn't hit the point where I like it for January 24. All right, let's see what happens tomorrow. But we already have money in the money market account ready to invest if it hits our number. It's just about being patient.
Yeah, just quickly, I'm asking a question, but yeah, that's something that, you know, even going into last Tuesday, I think, or last Wednesday, I just put a substantial amount of money into my brokerage account just to have it cleared on time and to have it in the money market because we know that around this time, the stock market usually drops. So we can kind of anticipate, we can never, know exactly what's going to happen, but we can make an educated guess on the past. And if you understand the past, you know that around this time, usually the stock market always drops. So you got to be prepared. So I'm just prepared. And I still didn't even jump in today. I just didn't think, but the positions I was looking at, I just felt like it could drop a little bit lower. But now I'm prepared. So it wasn't really a surprise when we saw a stock market drop right now because it's actually supposed to drop. Like this is something that,
it historically happens so often. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Like and the people who've been listening to Market Mondays since we started, we went through this last September and it was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And same exact thing. Look, put your seatbelt on. Trust the research that you've done. Trust the investments that you've made, right? We spoke about it 2 weeks ago. What would your account or your portfolio look like had you not moved at all? Right? If you pulled back in September 9%, there was a little slight one in October, I recall. In November, we started seeing some gains, and December came and we saw some gains. Had you not touched your portfolio, where would it be?
And just because the stock market pulls back, that doesn't mean the individual position has pulled back to the point. So SMH, stock market is down. SMH was down heavy today, but it's still only 4% off of its all-time high. Its all-time high was 276 and it's at 264 right now. So like just to kind of give you some perspective, if it drops 10%, that'll be 250. So it's still not really that far from its all-time high.
Yeah.
XLK, all-time high was at 160. It's at 152 right now. So that's only a 5% drop. It's very similar to SMH. A 12% drop would be 140. Apple's a little bit further drop. Apple's high was 157. It's at 142 right now, but that's 9%. We talked about that 130, 135 range. So that's important too. Just because the stock market, you got to look at your individual positions that you're looking at and saying like, all right, well, 4% still not, it still probably has some more room to fall.
Yeah.
Just because the stock market was down. So
yeah, I mean, we got to put it in context, right? Like NASDAQ pulled back. I mean, I think we would sit next to each other. We're like, yo, this thing gonna drop 500. We're going to 500. But even that was like 3%.
Yeah. It's not a lot.
It's not even that doesn't even qualify as a correction, right? Like it has to at least be between 6 to 20%. Like we're halfway to a correction. So we just got to keep that in perspective.
Yeah, it happens every single year. One of my favorite quotes from Money Master the Game is just like any other climate. You're going to have summer, spring, fall, winter. September just happens to be when winter comes. Then also, like for those of you who were at InvestFest, if you love InvestFest, please drop fire in chat. But I told you one of the best targets for you to use for the Dow is 523 points. So if you use the example at InvestFest of 33 contracts, on the short today, you'd have been up 86,295. There is no such thing as a bad market, only bad entries into it, and you end up getting out too early. If this is your first time in the market, hold. People gonna tell you everything else. Ask them this: are they rich from investing or trading? Conversations will stop. Are they free financially? The conversations will stop. Every September or October, this happens and people panic. If you haven't got into the market yet, enjoy September because it's going to be a great time for you to be able to get in and take advantage of it. In a year and a half, you'll be happy. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat so you can verify. Let's rinse and repeat.
6,200 people on the chat room. Hit the like button, please.
Red Panda family, please hit that like button. Tell your aunties, uncles, grandma, great aunties, hit the like button.